at first it's like this foggy realm, like just filled with smoke, and then the smoke begins to create shapes and also just drift away to reveal the actual scenery, which is a throne room. Um, as best as she can remember, it is a recreation of another throne room that she has already been to. I don't recall exactly what that throne room looks like, so I can't describe it in perfect detail. But I do recall that it was like mainly like white colors with elegant architecture and
Elegant and
essentially,
flowing more than
yeah.
anything. I believe also when you had last seen it, most of it had been destroyed until she was freed and saved, and you watched her almost in real time kind of reform and reshape her entire throne room before your very eyes with really just a flick of a wrist. And it was a flowing and elegant throne room with a beautiful throne in the middle of that room that had all these leaves and flowers coming out of it that were both alive but still so much more than just regular flowers. It almost felt like they were moving and shifting on their own. But within that space, you have managed to meet the one that you wanted to meet in your dream. And sitting before you in long, beautiful golden robes at this time is a woman of many names. You can choose whichever name you'd like to use for her tonight in your dream.
Well, seeing as she has not appreciated being referred by other names in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I will. Idea is, she's not on the floor itself. She's also not on the throne, but she's floating her own lotus bed, which is a little more formed to be more like an armchair, kind of like a pretty comfy cushion.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like a little bit of a fireside chat, but in this dreamy scenario, she gives like a respectful bow. Says, "Good evening, Lady Isabelna. Thank you for taking the time to receive me."
The woman before you opens her eyes, and you see within those eyes there is not just the golden shimmer of her current form, but you can also see, because of your proximity to her, there is a certain darkness within these eyes, almost flickering with a deep flame. And as she looks down at you, serious face initially, then smiles and says, "It is a pleasure to see you once again, Heidi. You sought my help."
Indeed, I, over the course of my travels, I have come across and possibly made enemies with a certain devil, and I thought it would be very remiss, perhaps even disrespectful, not to consult such an authority on the subject before heading off to deal with him.
She kind of tilts her head a little bit, nods to you. "I appreciate your thoughtfulness. How might I help you tonight?"
Well, I have, of course, already prepared myself somewhat based on the previous help that you had sent us, which I must say I appreciate very much. But I had been wondering if you could give me some advice on a few things. Namely, how best to get rid permanently of such a devil. And if if you are familiar with this particular devil. His name is Zazgal.
Goth.
Zazgath.
She looks at you for a few moments, almost as if going through her vast memory bank, looking for that name. Before she then continues. Ah, you are facing that one, a conniving and cunning enemy. How, if I may, did it come to this confrontation with him? And you obviously notice that she is not using the name.
I had been sent by a coalition of our allies to negotiate with a certain dwarven kingdom in Pernal. In turn, the king of those dwarves sent me to speak to one of theirs who was supposedly a recluse and a specialist in runes. When I got to the designated place, it seems like at some point in time this recluse had been somehow captured and replaced with this devil, impersonating him. At first, I was intending to broker a sort of deal between the devil and the king of those dwarves. I also tried to negotiate a few personal interests of mine with him, but unfortunately his prices were not different from what you would expect from a devil. And we couldn't reach an agreement on any of the items I was interested in because I would not like to adhere to such risky terms. Well, be that as it may, we were almost carrying out the deal, but then I changed my mind about letting this devil have his way with the dwarves, and left with my companion without bringing the devil together as we had previously agreed. Immediately upon doing so, of course, I presumed this would have greatly angered him and would be seen as a slight, and I did not intend on living out the rest of my days knowing that a devil might be plotting something against me. So I encouraged the dwarves to deal with this devil while they could, while he is still holed up in the place we know of. For their benefit, of course, but also for mine. And that is how we wound up in this situation.
It is truly wise and remarkable that you chose not to engage in any dealings with him. If I had known beforehand, I would certainly have advised against it as well. But with that being said and done, names hold power. And so does this name. While it might not be sufficient in this condition, in this situation, to simply defeat and destroy him where he is now, to truly annihilate and eliminate him, one would have to chase him into the depths of hell, where he will eventually reform, regroup, and attempt a next move. The name itself, however, will help you in your battle. It might grant you certain advantages, and it might also, if this were your aim in binding said devil. Is that your aim?
May I elaborate a bit on my motivations here for a bit?
Please do. Enlighten me.
Well, when last we spoke, I did seek perhaps the power to become closer to my original heritage or to bind one of them to my services, but I am the head of the Matsuoka clan, the 23rd of them. There will be a 24th and a 25th and a 26th and so on. I am sure, knowing myself, that I would be capable of taming this devil upon binding him and making sure he doesn't step out of line for the rest of my days. And obviously, I would also teach, instruct, train my successor thoroughly in never loosening the leash on him. But what happens to the one that comes after her and the one that comes next? And even if I manage to extend my lifetime, it is still prone to end one day. And what if, long after I'm gone, this devil has spent decades on his best behavior, playing nice, convincing my successors that he has turned over a new leaf, and even if they free him, he will never turn against the family. All it takes is one gullible inheritor to the crest to free him and invite ruin upon our house. And now I have no pretensions of having an eternal dynasty. I know that all things are impermanent, and even those who prosper will one day meet their end. But I wish to have no hand in my clan's eventual downfall. The legacy that I leave behind for them will be only one of wealth and knowledge and power. So, I would not wish to bind him, for that will end one day, and my legacy will be tarnished by it.
So destruction is what you seek instead.
Yes, I also do not wish to necessarily become as him, or, well, there are records of devils living in my homeland of Han, but they have also vanished at certain points in history, and there are no tales of what happened to them. I believe maybe it would be too hasty for me to take such an action before I find out what exactly transpired. But anyway, yes, what I wish is to be rid of him permanently, forever, so that he will never take revenge upon the future generations of my family for my actions.
There's a bit of a shift in her appearance. Her beautiful white hair in this moment, turning slightly darker, almost black in certain spots. You can see that even her facial expression and the gold in her eyes seems to diminish ever so slightly, giving room to a darkness like you've only seen in your worst enemies, truly. And you know that another part of her seems to be taking the lead in this conversation now. If you wish to kill a devil, you will have to chase such into the hells. How long it takes for a devil to reform in the hells is entirely up to their own levels of strength. For Zaskath, that might be quite a while. It might not even be within the time frame of your normal lifespan. If you wish to see this through yourself, you will have to become more than you are now. Unless you're willing to leave such a task to those that might follow you in the future. As you know and understand, I never had such a liberty, and I took it upon myself to become more than I was. She shifts back a little bit. All to preserve my peace and the future of those that I now protect. I can help you and guide you on your quest for more, on your quest for ascension beyond that which your people are capable of. But there will be much sacrifice needed from you. Much time will have to be dedicated to such changes. Time that I have. But is it time that you are willing to give?
I didn't have much longer to live, comparatively. As you know, my species is rather short-lived. I am already reaching the half point of my natural lifetime. Although I have acquired an extension already, courtesy of a deal with some of your subjects. However, I have considered the possibility of leaving the crest and the legacy of my family to the future generations and remaining for as long as possible to watch over them. I don't intend to be the head of the family for as long as I am alive. There is significance and a cultural legacy in letting others take over. But even after I have transferred the crest, I still intend on watching over them as a sort of guardian.
A living legend to your clan.
Well, I wouldn't presume to describe myself as such, but if they would be so inclined to call me, then perhaps. To that end, I would be very interested in the kind of change that you are is also true that I have recently been granted a measure of powers by one of the deities of my people, and I'm not still entirely sure of what the designs for that are. To which I mean to ask, are the changes that you propose, what are the nature of them? What is the nature, brother? Brain fart.
She'll kind of circle back a little bit to what you said about you wouldn't call yourself that, and she'll say, don't be too humble. Those of us who were granted greater power and ability have the right to stand above those who do not. What we do with such power and position is always entirely up to us. But the fact that we are different is undeniable. As for what changes exactly need to happen, you will have to leave the side of your people for a time and spend that time with me. I will guide you on a long-winded process of forsaking your mortality, of forsaking that which holds you back from true greatness. Details that I admittedly am not willing to share quite yet. But if you are of the mind that you can take on this burden, I will be waiting for you at the end of your journey, and together we will ensure that you become so much more.
I understand, and I am honored to be given such an opportunity. I will finish what I must do, and then, if fate has it in the cards for me, we will see through this transition from one chapter to the next. But putting a pin on that for a moment, as exciting as the prospects are, from what I understand then, there is no way to be permanently rid of the devil right now.
As unfortunate as it is, no. They are powerful creatures, old and ancient, many of them older than even the gods. And as you might already understand, the removal of a god is not an easy task. As such, even those that may oppose the gods are not easily removed. battle to the death against said devil, besting the devil and taking their place. I will be transparent. Zaskath does not possess the honor of a throne. There's a little bit of a sarcastic, almost mocking undertone to that. But he has been seeking such an opportunity for a long, long time. And the story you have told me, and the situation you have found him in now, confirms to me that he is seeking a throne in a different manner now. A throne he must never sit upon. Your task is clear. Defeat Zaskath here. Set your life on the right path. And meet me once you are ready.
Nairi like grabs her chin thoughtfully. Should I bind him? Does that prevent me from eliminating him later on?
Not necessarily. Although a journey to the Hells itself is unavoidable. One advantage of binding him now is that you will always be aware of his whereabouts. You can keep an eye on him if that is something that you have the mental capacity for. And she doesn't mean in terms of intellect, but simply in terms of, with so many things going on in your life, is this a distraction that you can handle at this time?
Should I eliminate him? Is it possible to predict exactly when and where he will re-emerge in the house?
There's a little smirk on her face. With my knowledge, it certainly can be. All I will need from you is the exact moment of his death. And I can do the rest. But, Heidi, if that is the case and that is the path you choose to embark upon, then I will need commitment from you. Not to me, necessarily, but to our joint quest in your future. I help you, and you allow me to aid you in your process of growth.
As I said, it is a great honor to even have that prospect, or to even be held in such a regard. But I don't think I should make a commitment at this exact moment.
The choice is entirely yours. Simply know that when the time is right and you have made up your mind I will be waiting.
I thank you very much. I'd like to look at her for 1 second, and based on her current appearance, I wish to gauge what is more appropriate for me to call her right now.
He seems to be more in the body of Zybilna again. There was a moment earlier, and throughout the entire conversation, where you've seen the shifting, and it's almost a battle where her alter ego wishes to take over the center stage in this conversation, but Zybilna remains strong, and Zybilna remains at the forefront of this interaction. We're not entirely sure as to why there is such a battle, almost a pull between these two, but visually you can see that Zybilna, who is now a queen of good, is the one that remains.
I thank you very much for your praise, Lady Zybilna. Now, I will have to meditate on what to do with him for a bit longer, but should I choose to bind him, would it be possible to perhaps seal him inside some sort of item where I can keep a watch over him more directly?
If you possess such an item and the abilities to do such a thing, most certainly.
It would be a bit too hasty to procure something like that now. In which case, perhaps we would need to just bind him normally. Would it be too much trouble for me to ask? Well, actually, I think he's already given me the proper ritual to bind the devil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just to be clear, should I bind him, it would still be feasible for me to perhaps bring him to the Hells and eliminate him there.
Say that again. If you bind him, is it still feasible to take him to the Hells and defeat him there?
Yeah, essentially. Like, if I bind him, can I still
Mhm.
go to the Hells and, like, essentially, like, if he dies in the Hells, does he die, like, for real?
Yeah.
If you
Yes.
die in the game, you
Yeah.
die in real life.
I was thinking that too.
Naturally.
Then that may be my course of action, but I will think on it further. As for the process itself, are there any other recommendations perhaps you would have on how to properly utilize his name to not let him escape or push our chances of defeating him?
As simple as it may sound, if you see him attempting any kind of escape, speak his name and a clear command for him to remain precisely where he is. There is a power greater than the devil's that will force him to fight against his natural instincts of escaping and surviving.
Excellent.
She kind of looks off to the side into what to you is an empty throne room and nods. Heidi, as much as I have enjoyed our conversation, my attention is required elsewhere now. I wish you fortune on your upcoming battle. And fortune may guide your hand as well in whichever decision you will take.
Heidi does like a reverence. Lady Sibylla, it has been an honor to receive some of your time and knowledge. And please, rest assured that in whatever way I find to do so, we will yet one day speak in the Prismere at leisure. Not perhaps as equals, but as more equals than we currently are. And if you see them, please send my regards to Ringoran and Simon.
That is an easy task. I shall do so. Farewell. And your dream vision collapses and shifts into whatever else might guide you through the night instead, Heidi. And with that, we're back at the opening of that tunnel that you had traveled to only a few days ago. The destroyed city, the ruins before you. Your companions at your side. And the morning yours.
Including this funny looking guy.
Wh-
Right?
I don't know which guy you mean, except the
Just
one you're
dragged
going to
himself to the-
play
to the map.
tonight. Yeah,
Unprovoked.
you can describe yourself.
Yeah. We have like
briefly
a
to the
whole
party.
detachment of dwarves, and for some reason one of them just shines.
Mhm.
Exactly,
One of
one
them's
is a
just
little
cooler
bit-
than the other.
He has a
Yeah,
quest
yeah.
marker over his head.
Yeah.
He's always
So-
so dramatic.
New character, whom not even I know yet. Who are you?
Fire Dancer is your fairly typical looking dwarf, though he does stand out a little bit in the kind of somewhat flamboyantly long and flowing robe that he wears and the intense dragon tattoos going down both of his arms. And they are very scaled and muscular, ending with talons on his fingers. And he carries a staff that has a dragon curled up its length, carved out of. It appears to be wood and metal, but it has kind of like some gemstones in the eyes, and the scales appear to glisten a little bit as well.
Excellent.
Have you been eating well, Fire Dancer?
I have. It has been a while, Woden. I am pleased to be on an adventure with you again.
Hmm.
I forgot about that.
As I yeah, as I begin to fiddle with the portal to try to force it open again, since this time we're like not actually being invited, I will. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm gonna cast. Before I finish doing it, I'm gonna cast mirror image on myself, just in case. And I'm also gonna turn to all of the dwarf detachment because I think we had like what, half a dozen guys.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna turn to all of them and go like, remember, once we get there, focus on the fight. He is very elusive, and don't kill him. Pitch him black and blue within an inch of his life, half an inch even, but don't kill him outright. Just leave the finishing touches to me.
You wish to leave a devil alive.
I wish for him not to come back in 100 years and hunt both your and my successors.
A worthy goal, assuming you're capable of such.
Don't worry. I have many contacts in many places. And for that, I know many things.
Now, because you're a little deeper into this area than I thought initially, you're already by the portal, which is totally fine. A brief description or update to the previous description that you had is simply that while the area is still as you remember it to be, there are none of these mechanical yet arcane in nature creatures that you had seen before. None of them are present here. None of them seem to be scavenging anything. It is instead simply quiet, with the only exception the presence of those massive spiders that you still can sense above you. But the portal is yours to take whenever you'd like.
So I cast a spell before we go in.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
I'll cast. This one. I'll cast protection from good and evil on myself.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, the portal is open for us to head in whenever we want, right?
Yes. I'm simply holding for the go signal.
I'm gonna hold heroism until we like basically step through.
Okay.
I'm going to begin casting Magic Circle
Right?
as we are about to enter, and I'm going to finish casting once we're inside. Like, I'm gonna give the signal to enter when I finish, like the you know, kind of like the second to last turn of casting the spell, because it takes like a minute to cast.
Okay. As we're
I'm
waiting,
Not casting what I said I'm casting.
as we're waiting,
Okay.
Moon's gonna make awkward conversation. So, your companions, are they doing well?
They seem to be doing fine. They have handled a different enemy on their end. The enemy, I must say, was probably something equal to the one we're about to face in power.
Ah. So you can't be shown up then.
Yeah, what?
You can't be shown up then.
Correct. Now it's on us. It would just look bad if we were to fail here.
I don't wish to look lesser than dwarves. Have you heard that? That's how one's gonna hype up the other dwarves.
Everybody in unison just
He beats on his shield. You get that like in rhythm, like
and they all go
very it's very lunchroom. If you've ever seen, I'm gonna get racial here for a second. If you ever saw them,
What a way to preface whatever you're gonna say now.
this is good. Oh well, if you've ever been at lunch, I don't know how many black kids you went to school with, but like at my table, we would like go freestyle, like sort of like on a table. Someone would hit the beat on the table, It's kind of like that, but we're just doing the in
Mhm.
between each beat.
I sneezed on the beat, and the beat got sicker.
I
Judge.
Nicki Minaj. Now,
that was Beyonce.
it was Beyonce. One little thing.
It's got so disrespectful, sir.
One little thing for you guys. Because obviously, I don't want to run all those dwarves in addition to the bad guy and then whatever else is in there. The way I'm going to have this is the dwarves are going to be occupied with certain minions here. However, each of you has one reaction that you can use in one of three different ways. You can either, in reaction to being attacked, increase your AC by 2 by calling upon the help of one of the other dwarves. Will step in and step before you. You can, as a reaction also, call upon one of the dwarves to give you advantage in combat, or you can call upon one of the dwarves to distract your enemy and give them disadvantage on a saving throw.
Ooh.
So these three options are available to you, as these dwarves will be nearby around you, busy with their own thing, but still involved in the overall happenings of this battle.
Oh man, just wait until I make up some shit names, who they are, what they do.
I'd love that. I think I had given names, but honestly, I don't know where they are and don't care. So you can make up whatever you'd like, man.
All right.
I'm gonna be casting Spirit Shroud when we go through, not heroism. By the way.
Okay. Okay.
Do it.
So other than that, that is all
Alright.
I had to say, and the stage is yours to discuss any final preparations if there's anything to be talked about, or otherwise just step through and
When
what
do you
happens.
want us to say what were you having the dwarves do?
Or your attack, or before you're attacked.
right.
like-
So whenever the reaction, it's a reaction, right? So
Okay.
whenever it were needed, if you're attacking, you, or say you want to attack, you can declare a reaction to give yourself advantage. For the spellcasters, if you were to cast a spell, you can use a reaction to simply give them disadvantage on the saving throw, and then if you are being attacked, this is the more specific one, you can call upon the help to give yourself an AC buff.
Gotcha. All right.
So whenever it's necessary.
Cool. And that uses your reaction.
Correct. That uses
Gotcha.
your reaction.
Cool.
Give me 1 second. My cat wishes to exit the dungeon.
Did you how much longer on your laundry?
Was that
Before-
towards him? Or...
That was true.
Oh.
Nika
Yeah,
said
before
like
we
in
start.
an hour. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
before we start
it's
combat.
basically an hour after we started.
Maybe we want to take 5 just so you can flip the laundry.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It should be around time, right?
It is time. Yeah, I just heard that it's quiet, so it is time. But
Okay.
do you have something you immediately need me for, or do you want to just have a brief exchange while I do that? If you're pushing me, if you're forcing me to do it.
No, I think you should do it.
basically
to be
ready.
Yeah.
As soon
Yeah.
as we step in, I'm just finishing the magic circle.
I mean,
and that's it.
I can go pee if we.
I also
Okay,
just
if you
accidentally
want to-
broke my character sheet, so I'm going to take 5 to fix that.
When
Okay.
we step through, am I gonna be able to fit Nat, or would he have to be like summoned on the other side?
Through this portal, you mean?
Correct.
I'd say you don't know.
All right, I'm just gonna.
I'd say you don't know exactly how this portal works, how this magic works, but just roll me like, just roll me like a flat intelligence or wisdom check, just like flat intelligence
Great.
or wisdom.
Can I ask Irie about it to try to get help?
Sure.
Mhm.
I have
You
just
think- I was gonna.
pretty specific observation in mind, but you can definitely ask her for help as well.
You think Nat would fit through here? And then I'm gonna roll, and then if you want to give like the advantage thing, Irie should roll separately.
Well, is it a? It's just an intelligence ability check.
Intelligence or wisdom, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll and give myself guidance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Still
That's
Okay.
an extra D4.
Oh,
Hey!
baby. Okay. Now, Jax, you're not, let's say, the most adept at this kind of magic. You obviously do have your own set of abilities that you're proficient in and can call upon when needed. Heidi has a better eye for these sorts of things, however, and also Heidi, just by looking around, and this is what I was talking about, it is very obvious to you that these large creatures that were here before are no longer here. So unless they've completely vacated these premises and have scampered off to elsewhere, they must also have used this teleportation device. If that were the case, then you would say Nat will probably fit here as well. In terms of size, they are comparable at the very least.
Okay. Well, you should be able to fit. Based on several things that I'm not going to get into right now.
As soon as you say that, I'm gonna begin working on that. Like even almost like before you finish your sentence. Okay, I can do it without expending a spell slot, so he is going to join me. I can only do that once per long rest. Okay.
Mhm.
So Nat is here. I'm gonna climb on, basically.
Okay. We should ask our arts mastermind to get some Nat art. I was just thinking about that.
You wanna? You're going to give
That's
me a
up.
description of some sort.
Big
Yeah,
lizard.
that's just up to Jax. But you have a token for him that I can pull on, or that you can pull on? Yeah, you do, right?
Just make another
Oh no,
jack.
wait, you don't. What was I using? Was I just using a?
We're using
Has
the
Nat just has
otherworldly
Nat
steed.
never been on Foundry?
No,
I think this
but
is Nat's first time on Foundry. I don't have a token for him yet.
we've just been doing otherworldly steed stats
Yeah.
for him, which
Yeah.
where is it?
Let me just do something here. I can import this real quick. It'd be fine. Other
And we've been, I
options.
think, calling him a
Import.
Fae, basically, on whatever the otherworldly Fae stat block is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about the smaller details right now. I'm just gonna import this. So should I look for what does otherworldly steed pull? What is the creature called? It's not an
Roars?
other.
It's
Oh, it is
literally
simply-
otherworldly steed.
It is simply that awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
the spell is Find Steed. The creature
Yeah.
is otherworldly.
The otherworldly,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Creatures otherworldly.
Okay, so that's a very cool piece of art. I'm going to pull Nat into your folder, and let me just give you control over Nat as well. So you can adjust the little things as we go. And it is a large creature. Yeah. So it should be in your folder, and you have access to editing whatever needs editing. Alrighty? Which I can see the HP is one of the things that definitely needs editing. But Nat is
I
there.
don't see it. I just see Jax in my.
Oh, I didn't get. Okay, I didn't save the changes. Sorry. There you go.
Yep, there it is. Got it.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yep. No need to bother pulling him onto this map quite yet, because I'm gonna pull you onto the other map now.
What?
But if the party gives me the signal, this will be the moment where I'll be pulling you over.
by me.
Okay. By the way, can all of you hear the song that is playing?
I'm hearing the portal going off over and over.
Oh, but not the song?
Yeah,
No.
just check stream and it's not hearing.
I just have like a
music either.
soft background, like eerie vibes, but
Oh, but it says
Okay.
quiet eerie vibe playing,
exactly, yeah.
and it is playing for you. Because there's a couple players that are telling me they can't hear the song.
I hear it. It's just like.
What?
Oh yeah, I,
Yeah,
turned-
yeah.
Like a
I had the
background
music
thing.
turned down from other songs that were much louder. I just had to turn this one up, and I can hear it now.
Okay. Yeah.
You probably had the environment up very loud because we were trying to hear this the first time we heard it.
Yeah, true. Okay, then if everybody gives me the go signal, let me just pull you over to the other map. What was it called? I believe this is the one. Yes, it is. Activate. This one's going to take a second to load because it's a big bitch.
Jax, was your skin turning light blue or was it turning like
Ice
Right.
blue.
ice blue?
Beyond that too, I can't edit Nat's stuff. I think it's just because it's like pulled directly from the
You have to
thing,
give him
but-
permission for that.
Hang on, I got.
He does own the sheet. It should give him.
Clearly you do not own an air fryer.
Clearly.
Oh my god. Sorry,
wouldn't
I
buy
did
an air fryer.
observer. Now you can. Sorry. I did observer instead of owner.
Yeah, there it
My-
is. Got it. We're
Yeah,
on.
gotcha. My bad.
Circle is here.
So, you should all be on the map. You can drag yourselves onto the board wherever you'd like. Well, that is not true. Not wherever
Okay,
you'd
so
like.
like,
In the center. My
okay.
bad. Yeah. I lied for dramatic effect.
How could you do this to me?
Made my mistake.
something.
Got nowhere to run.
And as far as I understand, the moment you step through, you're all going to unleash certain spells in preparation, right?
Yes, I put
Okay.
mine on the floor.
Perfect. Then
I
let
did
me
mine right before we
do-
went in because it wouldn't have taken
Perfect.
a minute.
Perfect. So let's do the fun stuff. Combat has been initiated. You can all begin rolling yourselves into combat, as there is no doubt what you're here for now. And I believe this is the tune I wanted. Yes, it is. And I'll be giving you a brief description while you're rolling yourselves into combat. All of you now see the true form of Zazgath. Those of you who had been here before already, you had encountered a small, old-looking Duergar, a dwarf of sorts, but darker, more in touch with perhaps the unsavory side of life. Now you see a slender, tall man with leathery brown skin pulled across a very bony frame. And this individual has two curved horns on their head and is looking at you almost as though he had been expecting you. Standing behind him are two of the machine-like creatures that you had seen in the ruins before, scavenging and looking for a Luna Jade. They're flanking him now, also looking at the portal from which you have now emerged. No words are spoken immediately. Why can't you roll initiative?
I don't think I have like ownership of Jax's sheet now for some reason. Like I don't have the wrench in the top left, so I think I'm like not able to.
There you go.
Yep, looks good.
Weird as hell.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay.
Here
We
we go.
got it. Yep.
Everything's broken.
For some reason, am I mixing up Lyle and Jax, or do I have advantage on this?
Initiative?
Yes.
Don't know that you do, but I could also be wrong.
I don't think I do. I'm gonna go mixing him up with another character. Yep. Nope.
I don't know your character at all. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
this
it should be straight. Cause I remember like rolling initiative and then being like, wait, I can't just click advantage on it to roll it again.
What did you take for the background feat?
Or Jax, I think it was like soldier or something.
I don't know. Get a small bonus feat.
Oh no, tough and sentinel are my feats.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Alright, we're good.
The only thing Zaskath is going to say as you enter, unleash your spells, and combat is about to take place is in his now devilish voice. You've returned. And leave. You will not. Heidi.
You have an
you
uglier
some-
face than before.
Heidi, you somehow found yourself at the top of initiative. It is your
What is
turn.
this disrespect?
You know what I mean.
I have
Also,
plus
do me a
one.
favor.
Yes.
Exactly.
And somehow you have managed to find yourself at the top. That never
Yep.
happened even with your +5 advantage characters.
Do me a favor, pull Nat onto the board as well, just so we have him there. But Heidi, stage is yours.
Well.
It's a horse.
But it's a sick ass horse. Look at that bitch.
Yeah, I guess I could describe Nat if you'd like me to, but I could do it on my turn.
Yeah, let's wait for your turn and then you go. So we have Heidi go now.
Alright, the dwarves have essentially like spread and are fighting like several minions, right? Those two with him
Correct.
are the
Yeah.
ones that the dwarves can't handle. So we're gonna have to handle them.
Correct, yes. The dwarves are off screen but on screen with you, and they're currently dealing with other of these machine like creatures.
Alright. Oh, they are in. Fuck, there is a motherfucker right in front of me. Are you good? Are you good with like dexterity saves?
Sure, let's go.
Why don't you just move?
Nice. I mean, that's true.
what was that?
It was me. It's because I have an explanation. I cast magic circle, and for 1 second I was like, I can't move because if I move, the magic circle is gone. But I actually can.
Yeah.
I really just think that was
Weird.
very in Heidi character not to want to move.
Yeah, I don't want to move. He dodge.
Yeah.
He can dodge. It's
Yeah,
fine.
you're in my way. I'm not behind you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
Low-key, he probably can dodge, though.
Well, you could dodge it. It's just a matter of just like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
You have all these options. You're choosing this one.
I'm gonna cast a. Wait, is this expended spell slot? I can't. Are the empty ones that I think I forgot to just?
Yeah, the way we've been doing it
Is that
is
expended?
right. You should have everything, but yeah, the way we've been doing it is the moment you use a spell, we click the thing so that it goes away, the filling.
But like, if you
Um,
click the spell and it's properly configured to use the slot, then it should just automatically.
Yeah, I just don't want
Right,
to
right.
spawn like the actual lightning bolt because the spell is gonna do that, and I don't want it to do that.
No, I
Don't
feel
want
that.
to tell us where it's aimed.
I mean, it's gonna hit all three of them anyway. Like they're right. Like I don't need to explain this, right? Like it's just gonna happen. It's 5 feet wide. It's gonna hit them all.
Listen, I understand.
But yeah, I'm I'm gonna cast Lightning Bolt at all 3 of them
Okay,
at 4th level.
that's a dex save from all, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Zaskath has advantage on the saving throw due to magic resistance. Dex,
Ooh, his full portrait is really cool.
that's quite nice.
We can actually appreciate it in the carousel tracker.
There we go.
Yeah. That is, what was it? A 13 for Zaskath, and then Arcane Scavenger left first. Oh, that's a fucking insane mon. What the hell? Also has advantage because of arcane thing.
Wow, why is that?
Oh,
such
it
a shit?
rolled again.
That's okay. And then here, with advantage. Okay, so we have a 13, a 20, and a 14.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, 2 fails. The 20
Okay.
saves. The other ones take full damage.
Okay. It is, what kind of damage was?
It
Lightning?
is lightning damage, yes.
Okay.
It's red lightning that shoots straight from Mighty's horn. Like the middle of Mighty's horn. It's just form kind of like a railgun.
Okay.
It's a lightning.
Let me just see. Okay. You did a thing, Heidi.
Did I?
Yeah, hang on. Let me just subtract the HP so I don't lose track of where I am. So, lightning is something that both of these arcane scavengers are vulnerable to. As such, you have the usual choices here. You can pull another player up behind yourself in initiative. Or well, since you're already at the top, that won't make much of a difference, right? But you can pull somebody up if you'd like to. And
What is
these
the other?
two, well, it's pull somebody up behind you, right behind you in initiative, or put yourself at the top, but you already are at the top, so
I see.
that won't do you much good. And
Just gonna go ahead and.
and 2 more little things for your knowledge. Lightning, the creature cannot take reactions until the end of their next turn. And additionally, they are, what was it? I believe they are incapacitated. Yeah, there you go.
Alright. I will then pull up Fire Dancer as soon as Heidi shoots. She points her finger and then the lightning immediately shoots at them. And she sees that it creates an opening, and as she's sort of like twirling back to the, to the spot she was at before, she's gonna like just motion to Fire Dancer like, they're all yours now.
Okay,
And
in that case, Fire Dancer.
Fire Dancer grunts in understanding, and as the battle has commenced, when we step to the portal, you notice that Fire Dancer's cape has sort of begun to glow a little, and their form shimmers as if waves of heat were coming off of them. And Fire Dancer uses Step of the Wind to sprint forward and
Okay.
past Zaskath into the center of all 3 of them. And
Okay.
as he does, a tornado of fire blazes in his wake. And I need all 3 of them to make saving throws. I just need to remember what kind.
Are these against magical effects?
Is key a magical effect?
Yes.
Well, but actually
Okay.
I don't think it is technically using his key. I think it's part of a feature.
I do not know what you're playing. I mean, I know, but I haven't looked at that class in so
Let me
long.
find the thing and then ping it.
Yeah.
Monks have so many goddamn features and I forgot what it's called in this moment. There it is.
Extra attack.
That's fuck.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. All right, Scorching Vortex. When you use Step of the Wind, if you move through each space adjacent to a creature. Oh, okay, each space. So I have to like move through the spaces, but I have 110 movement right now and can easily create a circle around all of them.
Okay.
And so I'll finish right back in front of them.
Okay.
Cool. That didn't answer.
I do believe this is a magical effect. Just reading it, seems magical. Yeah.
Fine.
Sounds magical.
Fuck you, me.
It's almost like you did it using magic.
Also, it's not a DC 12. I don't know why it's saying 12. It's going to be a DC. It should be a DC 17 is my
Okay.
saving throw as a monk.
They have advantage then, all three. That's left to right again on these guys. It's a dex, right? Yeah. I'm not just clicking random buttons. Two. Wow, good. And then Zaskath. Zaskath does not succeed.
Wow.
So is that half damage then?
Yes, half damage, and the vortex. The vortex does not encapsulate the two arcane scavengers, but it does capture Zaskath.
Okay, let's see. You want to be a stickler, but when it says on a success, it moves through the vortex, ending the effect.
That's for a different save.
Oh, okay.
That's if they get trapped by the vortex. There's another save they can make on the next.
I see what
turn.
you're saying. Yep. Okay.
So Zaskath takes the 2d6.
Okay, wait. That was 4 points. Only to Zaskath,
Right.
and then 2 to the others.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had a brain fart. You see that your fire does singe and burn the two metallic contraptions next to you. Zaskath, however, simply looks at you with a look of disdain and somewhat incredulous that you would ever try to bring fire into a fight with a devil.
So my fire damage surpasses any resistance, and I think immunity as well to it.
Okay, double check that because he is immune.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Mm-hmm. This is the Steinhardt subclass, right?
Yeah, it is. It's so cool, but there's so much stuff.
Yeah, I do remember showing it to someone once, and the response was, "This is an essay."
Was it Tanner?
Yes, it was Tanner. But yeah.
It was just a him
I
coded response.
also immediately thought Tanner.
It was just coded like him. I was just like, you know what? That sounds like a guy I know.
Okay, it is only resistance. However, as he's smirking, the flames shimmer a little bit and give off a slightly different light. And as, like, the flames that are around Fire Dancer, and he says, "Oh, the flames get hotter still." And Fire Dancer lashes out with the staff now.
Okay.
And
Attacking Zaskath?
yes, attacking Zaskath.
Okay.
This
Real.
is
He said that last time.
shut up. The 28.
28 hits, yeah.
19 radiant damage to Zaskath as the flames embolden themselves, become hotter than just natural fire can become, and it becomes almost a holy light burning
Okay.
into them.
19 points of damage, and you too have struck a vulnerability here.
Oh shit!
So
Imagine a
let's
double
double
beam
check.
vulnerable to radiant damage.
Yeah. So radiant, what it does is the next attack has advantage against this creature. So whether it is yours or someone else's, the upcoming attack has advantage.
Oh, it's mine.
Remember, you get this once a turn, and no, that's not even true. You get it each time, right? I believe we did it in the one shot like that as well.
I don't get to like pull unlimited people forward.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come back to me. Let's just keep going forever.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
so goddamn fun.
That's what we talked about doing last time.
Yeah.
Just eternal looping.
Let me just double check.
It's not a full check.
Yeah. Sorry. I had to double check. Fury of Blows is
Flurry.
a bonus action. So I cannot do that this turn because I stepped of the wind. But I can still take my extra attack.
Would you be at advantage?
Yes, it will.
Good fish.
It's all good.
27 still hits.
21 radiant damage flares across him.
Perfect. And you do see now that that smirk he had on his face only a moment ago has now kind of been smacked off of his visage as he looks at you with a murderous intent in his ancient devilish eyes.
And I forgot to describe it, but as Fire Dancer struck with the staff, it broke into 3 pieces, and so it was just a quick 1-2, slap him across the face, spin it around, slap him across the other side, as all of Fire Dancer's movements kind of have an after image, the glow behind them, even colorful flames.
Very cool.
And then he'll just kind of backflip away from Zaskath, and the staff snaps back into one, and he plants it beside him.
Okay. Will he have an... No, actually he can't even take reaction, so I don't need to ask. Anything else you'd like to do?
I thought he could take reactions, just not the machines.
No, because the vulnerability was struck, he is incapacitated. So no actions or
snap.
reactions until the
I didn't
start
know
of his
that.
turn. Yep.
Yep. And then think that opening will provide a moment for Woden to go and follow it.
Okay. I love that you're just like skipping Jax.
Jax is next anyway. Jax is 2 initiative behind.
But also the one who does radiant damage.
Hey, first off, actually that makes sense. Actually, it doesn't matter. In that regard, because
Okay.
there's only so many of us.
It is
Go
so
ahead.
funny. Woden, you go.
Yeah, we already basically go like before them in initiative anyway. We're all in
Yeah.
like a little block. It doesn't really matter in this case, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Fire
As-
Dancer's the only one that rolled below any of them.
I somehow
he
once
knows
again managed to get all my 3 creatures basically next to each other in initiative, so.
This is the homie. He knows me.
Yeah, true. So, Woden.
So he has an opaque wall of fire in front of him that you can't see through.
No, it's not opaque. It's a kind of swirling vortex of various colored flames. But he
Opaque though,
can't.
right?
What's up?
It says obstructs line of sight if the target attempts to
Oh,
move
it
the
does
flames.
it? Shit.
You didn't read your own shit.
No, like I said, it's new. I missed that part.
Okay.
Yes, I guess so. It is an opaque vortex of fire.
Cool. Then I'll stand outside that opaque vortex of fire and slap him with the fiery whip.
Yes. Love it.
At advantage. I'm pretty sure
You're
it's-
going for Zaskath?
Yes.
Okay.
Teleport in and slap him across the face with the whip.
Yep, you have advantage from the previous attack or from your own features, whichever. The advantage is there.
18.
18 hits. Sorry, double check. Yes, it does hit.
So use my bonus action to use the Planar Word at 2d8. Back.
Okay. 23 points of what kind?
It is. Oh yeah, it's fire. Yeah. So only
Okay.
two. Oh no, it's all force. It's all force because of Planar Warrior.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah. I just realized I remember. Yeah.
Very cool.
All damage by the attack becomes force damage. Yep.
Alrighty. Your attack strikes true, and Zaskath looks properly pissed now.
Which one got affected? Other one got affected by the vortex?
Neither of them did. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh,
Zaskath.
both of those.
Yeah, they both succeeded.
Alright, then I'll still go for it. Teleport over, try to hit this one. Should just be a straight roll, unlike Fire Dancer. 28.
Again, sorry, which one? The left?
This one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
left one.
Yep. 28 hits.
And now this one should be fire damage.
Okay. Okay. Fire does hurt this one. 17 points.
Alright, and because I hit two different creatures, I can use my feature this time I remembered to hit a
Mhm.
third different one.
Perfect.
Nice.
19.
19 does hit.
Alright, and 15.
15 points of damage over here. Okay. Anything else for you?
I'll return back here.
Perfect.
Huh?
Alright.
Huh?
Skipping Jax now. Jax, here we go.
The legendary action. No.
Yes, legendary action skill.
Their
Jax.
action.
If target player is called Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skip her.
Initiative just above Jax.
Love it.
So, with Nat, you guys see that he looks not too dissimilar to what he once did, but similar to Jax's, like, scales have started to turn a bit more blue. And there are, like, icicle spikes kind of coming off of his wings. There are little tiny holes that have started to sprout up in those wings, but they still look like they're fully functional.
Okay.
And with that, Nat takes his turn on my initiative, and also has his own action economy. So I am going to have Nat use his bonus action to teleport us where Fire Dancer once was. In between, if I can. Does that count as an unoccupied space for him, or is he too big to fit there?
If you had him perhaps hovering a little bit, would that still work for what you're looking to do?
I'm just trying to get myself into melee range, so yeah.
That's fine then. Yeah, that's fine. You can hover a little bit above ground, right, and still be within melee, just not immediately in that space. That makes sense.
So yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say I'm on top of Nat for the sake of it. I'll put him, I guess, over here and myself
I
here.
believe, hang on, I think I can, yeah, bring you to front, so Nat will be behind you. There you go.
Oh, that's good. Okay. As Jax, I am going to swing at Nazi.
Who?
Nazgath?
No.
Zaskath.
Zaskath.
Whatever, dude. I can't say his name because it'll like do bad stuff. Is that the whole
True,
thing
true.
you guys just
Yeah.
talked about?
This is Voldemort.
So I rolled to hit and I rolled a 15. That,
15 does not hit, unfortunately.
that's fine. I'm gonna
Hold
roll
on.
my.
Are you talking Nazcath?
Yeah.
You get advantage because he cannot see you currently because of the thingy, the opaque, the vortex.
What? It's not darkness, right?
No.
Unlock
it's
sight. It just says
fire.
opaque.
Okay, yeah, that works. He has Devil's Sight, but I suppose it's only really good against.
This is too bright to see through.
Yeah, fair.
Well, it's
Okay.
actually the aim.
With advantage, it's the same number. Oh, it's a little better. 18.
18 does hit.
Okay, and that's going to be 17 damage, and I'm going to pump a Divine Smite into that.
Okay.
Where is that here? Okay. Divine Smite, Paladin Smite, cast spell. And that is an extra 4 radiant damage.
4.
And with my Spirit Shroud up, every attack I do does an extra d8.
Okay.
So it's also another 8 points of, and Spirit Shroud is.
You can choose Radiant or Psychic, I believe, or maybe it's Necrotic, depending on which type of spirits you summon.
It should be 3d8.
Depends on what level you cast it at, I think. Although
No,
It's
it's
level
2d8
3.
normally, and it's an extra d8 if it's a fiend or undead.
Oh. So it says here, till the spell ends, any attacks you make 1d8 extra damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. Radiant, Necrotic, or Cold, your choice, which I'm going to choose Radiant. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th or higher, which I did not, it increases by 1d8 for every 2 slots above 3rd. So it's only 1 based on the spell. It
I
doesn't
believe
say.
Woden may have been talking about the smite, is it?
Oh yeah, I was looking at this.
Oh, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad.
My bad.
Yeah.
I thought I was just like, you guys 3d8
Yeah.
for that.
The
Yes,
smite
that
was
was-
first level.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's still
You
still
rolled-
2 extra d8. I don't know why it only
Yeah.
rolled 1. Or no, it rolled 2 d8. You need
It
to roll a
rolled 2.
3rd d8.
Yeah. So we could consider that last one to be the extra one for that, and then just roll an
It's all the-
additional.
Yeah, it's all the same damage type.
Yeah, just roll one more.
Yep.
Good.
So
Perfect.
that's a total of 6 plus 8, which is 14 radiant damage on my already 17 damage hit.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna
So-
roll extra attack unless you have something else to say.
Yeah, just that you have struck a vulnerability, so your next attack has advantage.
35 total.
Where? No!
16 just misses.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay, and that's my attacks bonus action. I'm gonna have Nat do an otherworldly slam.
Okay.
Earl, dude, I rolled so many sixes.
Advantage.
It's the Devils. 666.
Yeah, it's true. It is an advantage. Let's go.
Why
Thank
is it?
God. Because he can't see. But
Radiant.
does
No,
That's
it's,
true,
it's,
true,
it's I thought it was because of the radiant.
No,
But I
the
already used the
radiant was
radiant.
used up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he did more.
does-
He did more radiant damage.
No,
It's from the line of sight opaque thing.
Oh. Okay.
but does
Yeah, 25
that?
hits.
But does the line of sight opaque thing also affect like Nat? Like, can Nat melee attack him through that?
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure about disadvantage from the opaque thing. I think it would make sense for probably more like spell casting stuff, right? But attacks, I think it would be disadvantage both ways, or just advantage. I don't know.
But the Frost Tongue Spear did more radiant damage, so that applies the advantage again, right?
Yeah, but I did an extra attack and I missed.
Correct, he did.
Okay.
He used it already.
Nope, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
So I would
But I'm
say
saying like through the fire, I can maybe hit him with a spear. But now that Nat is going to be attacking him through this fire with his body, does that do damage to Nat?
No.
we'll need to talk to Fire Dancer.
It only does damage to the target per the ability.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Because-
I would say personally, we stick to the 15. I don't believe there's advantage because that goes both ways, right? The
Yeah, that's
lack of sight.
I would say that, like, thinking about it, if you're engulfed in flame, it might blind you more than somebody who's looking in at you being engulfed, which might be what they're trying to allude to. But whatever you want to rule, I
Can
just
you
didn't
just
know.
ping the ability one more time?
Yeah.
I just didn't know if like that fire would be like a barrier to somebody like touching that enemy. You know what I mean?
No, it's
Right,
not.
right. Let me just double check what the ability says.
Of course,
I've
Kevin
lit-
has to make things complicated.
Yeah, I've leaned in so I can see it a little better.
Oh.
So I'm
He
also.
did the game. No, guys, he's done the gamer stance.
I've done the gamer stance. I have
Did you
hands
scroll up to
folded
it?
under my chin. No, I didn't.
Oh.
I was waiting for you to ping it again because there was a lot of shit.
It's just it's not wanting to let me ping it again because I can only do it once per
Okay.
long rest. But hang on. I just had to override that.
Hacker. You entrap your foes and flank when you use if you move forward to the target. Okay, failed, trapped in a weapon that appears in its space on a failed save. Fails to appear as a pig and obstructs line of sight.
Yeah.
I feel like the obstructs line of sight part is meant at allies as well. So like he can't attack us with like target spells, but we probably can't attack him with target spells either.
Yeah, I do believe this is a two-way street. Yeah, I would say this is a two-way street. Yeah.
No, we can roll the 15. That's fine.
Yeah, I would say so.
He would miss, and
Okay.
that's okay.
There are plenty of things that's own size to attack.
What'd you say?
I said there are plenty of things Nat's own size to attack.
That's true, but he tried to attack.
Oh, does he only get one
Zaz.
attack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only this guy.
Yeah. He has an action, a bonus action. Jax has an action, a bonus action. We do still have movement, but that would provoke opportunity attacks. So we're actually probably just gonna hang.
All of them are still incapacitated.
Right.
Oh,
They've been
then-
struck by invulnerability, or well, their invulnerability has been struck, and so they cannot take actions or reactions right now until the start of the turn.
60 feet over here.
Okay.
We're out. I'm gonna probably go like back to this area, maybe a little bit.
No, just far enough forward to get
Does
The-
that still
the
count
aura.
if we're up here? Nope, I miss Irie. So sorry.
Okay. One extra thing I want to remind you of, because you also have the invulnerability once.
Mhm.
For the upcoming turn, you can pull somebody right up behind you,
or Jax
if you
can
wanted
go
to,
first.
or you can go at the top. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing that one.
Okay, sounds good. Jax will be going first in the next round, and it is now the right Arcane Scavenger's turn. No longer incapacitated, can take reactions because of the lightning until the end of its turn, but that's okay. Now what do we do? Let me see. I believe it can simply step through, right? The vortex is just around this guy, you said.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is going to awkwardly and in a very unnatural manner going to use its various limbs to stick them in the ground and begin rapidly rushing at you, Fire Dancer. And the Arcane Scavenger is going to do the following. It's simply going to attack you 3 times with Grabbing Claw.
Okay.
Let's go for the first one. Okay, not a hit, I assume. Second attack. Unreal. Unreal.
That's so funny.
And last one.
Oh my god!
Fucking believable.
The
Do I
same
play the
roll
lottery?
3 times
Do
in
I
a
play the
row.
lottery tonight or what? Unreal. Actually unreal.
4.
Yeah, legit. What the fuck? Okay. Anyway,
Just need one more, and it is 4 4s.
yeah, that
Jin
is
himself will just come out.
fucked up.
If you get one more 4, you are canonically allowed to summon Jin into this battle via, like, I don't know,
and
the gate.
and I will. Anyway, that's this unsuccessful turn. It is now Zaskath's turn. He's going to try and step through the flames because he can't see right now.
He must
Although
make
his-
a wisdom saving throw in order to do
Okay. His step is only going to be 1 square to the left. He simply wants to be able to see. He has advantage on this, but I believe that's already good enough.
so. Yes, it is.
Okay. So he's going to take a step
So
through the flames.
vortex dissipates as he steps through.
Okay. Beautiful.
And he just sees Woden there smirking at him.
Huh? Me?
No, sorry, not Woden. Fire Dancer. Words.
I mean, I am smirking,
names.
but
It's true. We're all smirking at him.
I was just like, wait.
I don't know why I said Woden. They're all dwarves.
Like, don't tell me I'm smirking. I am smirking, but tell me I am.
Let me just do a little bit of measuring here. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So, the Zaskath is going to take just a few steps off to the side, looking devilishly pissed here now, and he's going to use an action to use Fiendish Indoctrination. I'm just going to ping it. Fuck the secret behind it, but
Wow, that's a lot.
anyone within 30 feet of him, which is everyone here, will have to make a charisma saving throw. If you fail, you take this damage and are charmed for a minute. On a success, you take half the damage and are not charmed. And so, essentially,
He and Woden can't be. Well. Jax is like right at the edge of the magic circle.
Mhm.
Like, most of his body is out, so it's up to you. But anyone within the magic circle can't be charmed,
Yeah.
frightened, or possessed by
Yeah.
fiends.
Okay, so good. I want to say, because you are on the back of Nat right now, you are not currently in the circle because Nat's
That's fine.
token is largely outside. But,
Everybody in
Well-
my aura gets +5 to.
exactly. So,
I'm right
everybody,
here, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
technically, me and Harry don't need to make the save, right? Oh, I know, we
I'm-
don't.
yeah.
We,
For
we
the
don't
damage,
Yeah,
Sure.
we just said.
Yeah. Fire Dancer, move yourself to where you actually were, motherfucker. And then everybody please roll the saves. Okay. DC 18 is the save. So everybody takes half except Heidi that takes the full. But nobody's charmed.
Does evasion apply to this?
I wouldn't say so.
For Dex.
Oh. Look, it's been a while since I played a monk or a rogue.
Don't get me stowed.
Yeah, even so, it didn't feel right. Okay, damages have been dealt. He is going to take
I have to make
another.
a con save for my spirit shroud.
Okay,
Right, it prompted me DC 13 concentration. That makes sense, right?
correct. Yes, you took half the damage, which is 26. 13 is just a success, right? It's half or.
I don't think I rolled. I think it's just prompting me.
Oh, okay,
to-
okay, yeah.
Click
Sure,
on the
sure,
button
okay.
and it'll roll.
You're good.
Oh, yeah.
19, fantastic. Okay. Just click the button so that thing goes
Yeah,
away.
I didn't know. You want me to click it now?
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, click it. It's fine.
Yeah. Thanks.
That
Perfect.
was- So we take half of 52.
Correct. 26, except for ID that took the full brunt.
Oh, and I
Um,
actually have to roll for Nat too,
Yes, please.
who doesn't look like Nat has the bonus, so we're gonna add 5 to whatever this roll is, which
6.
is a 1. So it's a 6, so he fails
Okay,
and takes 52 points of damage, right?
correct.
Nat is gone.
Okay, and charmed.
Cool.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Fine,
Charmed, I'm
sure.
Then-
just making sure I'm like following this
Does other
spell
worldly
right.
steeds like get anything against being charmed?
No, he's gone. 52
dead.
points of damage.
Oh.
It's gone.
It's got death.
You can just delete it, I think. No? If you backspace on it?
Backspace. No.
Okay,
There we go.
gone for me. Zaskath is then going to take a step toward Fire Dancer, sorry. And he's going to use a bonus action to shift his entire appearance and look exactly like Fire Dancer. And he is going to attack you several times with a baton that he pulls out from beneath his robes. A tutor's baton. We fear the tutor's baton because he can strike us. First attack.
That's a disadvantage.
Remind me why?
I have the cloak of displacement, the shimmering aura
Oh, very cool.
around me. It makes it hard to see and hit. Granted,
Yeah,
that would have missed
very cool.
anyway, but
It begins
Okay.
to shiver.
all of his attacks until he
Right.
gets like hit by an attack. Wait a
Right,
second.
yeah.
Hang on. Is it if I take
Okay.
damage at all? Let me double check that.
I believe it's once you get hit. I don't know.
Well, it changed with. I think it may have changed with 2025, but
Okay.
yeah, if you take damage, the property ceases to function until the start of your next turn. I just remembered
Okay.
that. So, nope,
okay.
not at disadvantage, but it's still a miss.
Okay. 18 and misses. Okay, second attack. 20.
Nope.
Okay. What the fuck is your AC?
You don't want to
Final
know?
attack.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Doesn't matter. That is going to be a pretty insane spread of damage. However, I'm so sorry to this man, but instead of dealing the psychic damage in this case, you can take away the 38.
Okay.
He is going to cause you to be incapacitated until the end of your next turn.
Anyone want a silvery barbs that?
I got you.
Shoot it.
Is that only on a crit? Wait, is it only on a crit that he gets to do that? I guess we don't
No,
necessarily-
that's part of the feature. Yeah.
So
it
if he
just
just
says
hits
it there.
me-
Yeah.
If he hits me
Correct.
at all.
Yeah. Instead of dealing psychic damage, Infernal Tutor can cause the target to become incapacitated.
I show silver barbs.
Okay. Let me just roll again.
I was considering it.
Oh my god.
Well, that was
You
to make
gotta
up
be
for.
shitting me.
That was
Time
to
to
make
play
up for
lottery.
all
That was
the
to make up
fours.
for all the force.
Time to
yeah.
play the lottery.
Sorry, buddy, nothing I can do about that. At least I'll give
You could
Yeah,
move
I
him
mean-
up, and then its turn will come quicker, I guess. That way-
Anyway, I'll give Jax advantage on his next thing. That's it.
Oh, next attack. Okay. Or next thing, yeah. That is going to be it for Zaskath. So you took 22 points of bludgeoning and you are incapacitated. And then it is going to be the final scavenger's turn. That is also going to move up. And I believe this one's just going to go for Jax here. Just double check one thing.
I'm looking at my AC.
Huh?
Stop looking at my AC.
I'm not.
Don't perceive me.
Don't perceive me. Okay, yeah. It is going to go for the first grabbing claw against you, Jax.
Okay. That's a miss.
Okay, I've doubled my roll at least. Second grabbing claw.
That hits, but I can use my reaction To give it disadvantage?
To give yourself a +2 to your AC in this case.
That's fine. We'll do that.
Okay, perfect. So your AC goes up +2, whatever that might be, and that misses
Yep.
then, I suppose.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, that is only for that attack. I should have specified, but
That
makes sense.
that's fine.
And then final attack, 20.
That does not hit.
Okay, so AC is 21 then, I guess.
No, no, it's not. I never said that.
We can do
Okay.
that.
That is it for their turns. We're at the top of initiative once again. Jax, it is your go.
Okay. So it looks like y'all are like pretty tightly packed there. Would I be able to move around this thing in front of me to get to the other side of it, or are they like literally right next to each other? I guess I can move through my ally space, right?
You can move through the space of a large creature.
Okay. So I want to position myself here, if that's
Okay.
possible.
Yep.
With my attack with advantage, I'm going to attack Zazie with my spear.
Okay. You have advantage, remember.
Don't need it.
I did give you advantage.
Oh my god.
Just barely.
Um,
You just got him.
Yep, 18 hits.
Okay. Bonus action. You know what's
Mhm.
coming. This time I am going to probably right up. Well, what's I have?
I couldn't have
There's-
taken any reactions to that baton hit, right? Because
Say that again,
that's-
please.
I couldn't have taken any reactions to getting hit with the baton, right? Because it's of the incapacitation.
You could have gave yourself +2 AC, but I mean,
Yeah, you could have taken reactions
Before you got hit, but you
yeah,
rolled a
before
natural
you got
20.
hit.
But like to the getting hit, I could not.
What?
How do you mean?
Like I have reactions that I can take when I get hit by an attack.
correct.
You could have, yeah.
Yeah, but since the attack itself made you incapacitated, once you got hit, it was over. So you
That's
couldn't
what I
do
was
it.
asking. It's like,
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, then no. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it would have hit no matter. Like, if it was below the natural 20, maybe getting that +2 AC. But
I don't care about the +2 AC. I don't need that. There's
Oh,
other things.
I see. Okay, so Divine Smite, I'm gonna upcast it to
Okay,
3rd level.
okay. I wish to inform you that he's not looking fantastic.
Which is an extra 23 radiant damage plus an extra 2d8 because of the Spirit Shroud, which I kept concentration on, and because it doesn't include the
Yep.
extra for a Fiend.
Extra. 5 more
So an
points.
extra 5. Yep, so it's 28 if he's like, what is it? Weak, not resisted, the opposite. Vulnerable.
Yes.
If he's vulnerable, that's a lot. So, and then I'm gonna make another attack.
Okay.
My extra
Once
attack.
again, I just wish to remind you, you have advantage due
Yep,
to the
I-
radiant.
God, I need that. And nope.
Okay. That attack does not hit. But he is
That's-
still incapacitated because you did hit him.
Yep, that's bonus. That's. Let me see how much I moved from where I was. It's 20 feet. I'll probably just try to move myself back to like.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Before you end, you have the option to pull somebody up in initiative right
Oh, Fire
behind
Dancer.
you, or put yourself at the top of the next turn.
I'd put Fire Dancer after me.
Okay. Fire Dancer, your turn.
And
Why do DMs say that?
What?
I'm
When someone's
incapacitated until the
incapacitated,
end of
you
the
say-
turn, right?
Your turn. Why do y'all do that?
Because it is their turn.
No,
But
it's
True.
not.
and it ends.
But at the start of my turn, the cloak does shimmer back to life.
Okay, perfect. Then
And I am no longer incapacitated at the end of my turn.
correct.
That'd be a bummer. Did your magic circle dropped, right?
What?
Did you roll concentration for the magic circle?
I don't need
I
to
don't
roll.
think-
It's
Oh,
not a
it's not
concentration.
concentration.
No,
Oh, okay, good.
just less an hour.
Nice.
It can move. That's like the trade-off, and you have to spend 1 minute casting it. But once you cast it, it's just there. Ida is going to extend her hand towards the more or less the space, like Zazgath's space, but actually like below him, and start drawing like sigils with her hand, and say, "Chains of heaven, toad floods, and glitters," and she will use a 6th level spell slot to summon a dragon behind
Okay.
Zazgath.
Okay.
I'm just gonna drag the.
What color eyes does Nat have?
It's near death. Nice. I gotta.
Jax,
Going.
there was a
What color
question for
eyes
you.
does Nat have?
What color eyes does does Jax have? They're
Nat.
white. Nat?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what color. I saved the notes for your Jax.
Oh, they're white.
Okay.
And once the dragon comes up, Heidi is going to get psychic damage. So the dragon is holding several like different colored pearls, and Heidi will get like sort of like this small gem on the center of her forehead, which obfuscated on her hair, but just know that there is a crescent moon like always, and then a little gem. It's very pretty, but her bangs cover it, so nobody can see it, but it's there. Anyway, the dragon is going to breathe radiant damage. It's going to open its mouth, and like this beam of sunburst. It's going to hit both Zazgath and the thing.
Okay.
It's 2d6 damage on a failed save, so you know, not a lot, but
Yep.
it's honest work.
So it's fire dancer. You can make the save.
No, I can angle it.
Okay. That is dex save at advantage. I'm not gonna bother rolling again, and it's this one here that rolls, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Save also at advantage.
Ah,
Okay. So they take half, is what it is?
Yeah, they take half, so
Okay.
2 damage.
2 to each. Okay.
Yep. And now the dragon is going to make 3 attacks against Zazgath.
Okay. I'm sure you've
Non-lethal.
hovered over. Yeah. Okay.
Let me just target. Wait, where is the target? Right.
I mean, did you do radiant damage?
I
Yep.
did do radiant damage, yes.
Yep. So you have advantage here.
And you can pull someone up behind you. The only one left is Woden.
Or she can put herself at the top of the next turn.
Which she should. I'm next anyway.
No, but she's already at
is-
the top of the turn order.
28 first damage.
yeah.
First.
Yep. Hits.
Okay, I believe that would be. Oh, it has a bonus equal to the spell slot. Yes, I remember. That is situational bonus 6. 15 damage first hit.
That is slashing.
Let me double check.
Remember, this is Apocalyptic Shadow rules, so we want to conserve as much initiative as possible.
Conserve. What?
You play Star Rail, you know Apocalyptic Shadow. Actually, you got to conserve as
Oh, I
much
see.
action value.
Yes.
I just go fast. think I count
it. Piercing damage. Piercing.
Piercing? Okay. He is resistant to piercing, but still some damage applies. He's not looking great.
Second attack. Oh, okay, just roll with disadvantage for some reason. 19 though.
19 hits, yeah?
Yeah, and it damage should be not 8 but 14.
Okay, 14.
Yeah,
How do
here's-
you want to non-lethally knock him prone?
Well, the dragon is going to manifest itself behind him, appearing from like this cloud of smoke. Immediately open its maw and blast both Zazgal and the other thing with a blast of light, disorienting Zazgal a little bit. And then the dragon immediately claws at him with one of its free claws, rending like part of his chest open, and then coils around itself at massive, like rapid speeds, and just like sort of like tail whips him, and the tail has like sharp scales as well. Just slams him into the floor, spraying his blood
Black
all
blood.
around him. Yes. And Heidi immediately smirks and goes, "Okay, leave the next part to me. You just deal with the rest of it." The dragon still has one attack left.
Mhm.
Going to move towards this spot
Okay.
and use its last rend attack against the creature. Right, so attack was just normal. It's going to like whoa!
Not a hit.
Never mind. And with my bonus action, I'm going to use my regeneration. So
Okay.
I was going to steam a little bit.
Perfect.
Nice.
With that, Woden.
Right. Kinda just grunts at that dude, unimpressed. And maybe not protection would be real good anymore. Well, bonus action, a Charlatan Stride.
Okay.
Run around,
That
make it
will
a
hit
less.
us.
Actually, no, I can't change it to electric. That was just a him thing. So I'll just teleport around and smack these things.
Go for it.
Forgot that was just a chef. Like, wait a second. That's not how that spell works.
I cheat.
You freaking cheater.
Which one are you hitting first? Sorry.
The one on the left, I don't think I hit it.
No, 16 does not hit.
Alright, now aim for the one on the right.
Mm-hmm.
That
hits.
hit. And I'll use the bonus action to change it to force damage.
Okay.
TD6 goes TD8. So it's 19 force.
Unfortunately, you see that this particular attack has no visual effect on this creature in front of you.
Oh, so no force. Okay, remember that for next time. And I'll stay here,
Okay.
perfectly content.
Perfect. In that case, it is going to be my turn. It is going to be the one you've just attacked, and with the not passing, but with their current master being knocked out, you'll see that both of these creatures' eyes kind of light up a little bit more as their eldritch overload kicks in, and they receive an additional action each turn. If we're gonna keep it simple here. Yeah. What you're going to do is just going to attack Fire Dancer here first. With a grabbing claw.
Okay.
You have the disadvantage now, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, doesn't matter. I've rolled
With the
another 4.
fours.
Yep. It is. You know what? I'm just gonna be persistent here. Attack again. Disadvantage.
Where's the tattoo on Harry's forehead?
It's
Crescent.
right on- yeah, it's a crescent turned upwards.
Yes, what color?
I'm not gonna bother with rolling disadvantage there. And then it's the last one's turn that is going to go for, I believe, Woden here. Woden, you're going to be... Ah, sorry. It has one more attack. It has the Eldritch Overload, so it's just going to go for a fourth grabbing. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Actually, insane. Okay, anyway. Yeah, turn end over to the second one, and it's going to go for Woden with 2 attacks here.
I'll use a defensive duelist to increase my AC.
Okay.
Attention, duelist! Attention, duelists!
Second attack.
Yukimoto is cheating again. That
Does
does
it-
not hit.
Doesn't hit. The next 2 attacks are going against Jax. Eighteen doesn't hit you.
Miss.
Okay. I mean, they have good mods. There's just nothing I can do about that, huh?
Yeah, 8 still. That's
yeah.
crazy.
End of the round. It is Heidi's turn. I don't believe anybody pulled themselves in front of her.
No, I didn't pull myself back to the top. I pulled incapacitated, so.
Yep. Okay, Heidi.
Oh, it's already my turn again?
It is your turn again. Yeah.
Okay.
There were a lot of very unsuccessful rolls on my turn, but stage is yours.
That's good.
Should I make sure? I'm just gonna take a big though.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I realized I misread one of my abilities. I thought it was if a creature hits me with an attack. If a creature misses me with an attack, I can hit it with my flurry of blows. So I'd like to do that real quick.
Go for it.
So
That would be against either one of them, both. Actually, sorry, just the top one.
okay.
Oh, you forgot you can't do extra.
I thought no. I thought it was if they hit me with an attack, but I just reread the ability. It's if they miss me with an attack that I can do the flurry of blows.
Miss me with that gay shit.
18 hits, yeah.
26 radiant damage.
26. 23 or 26?
Sorry, 23. I don't know
Okay.
where I got the 6 from.
Either. Okay. He's still rolling, Mom. I don't know why.
I get 3 attacks from flurry of blows.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, it
I
says
missed
it
with an
literally
attack and
says
you
I
get
can
3.
use flurry of blows against it.
Oh my lord. Okay. 25 also hit then. 18, 20, 25, yeah. What the fuck?
I heard people complain about Mugna being strong enough. They said no one talk ever again. Ever.
And something I
Yeah.
forgot to mention, as he's making these strikes, not only does the staff expand out into the 3-piece again, the scales that are along his arms glow and also seem to be lashing out at these creatures for a little
Okay,
bit of
very
extra
cool.
damage.
Very cool, very cool.
Okay, now it's ID's turn.
Perfect. Yep, here you go.
To be fair to the guy who designed the subclass, he probably designed it before the monk rework came on.
Yeah,
which
for sure.
Which gives an extra hit to for your blows.
I mean, it would only decrease its effectiveness by 1 attack.
Oh yeah, but that's like 1/3.
That's true. I would just say, like, all things considered, it would be crazy still.
In another perspective, like the extra attack just increases by like 50% like damage output. Anyway, I'm going to activate my crest, running under the sparks running under the Heidi's skin as she overclocks it of sorts, and I will summon. I want to summon like a lightning elemental, but that's not an option. I'm gonna summon an air elemental because that's like the closest thing I can get. I'm gonna summon an air elemental right beside the other thing. With the 4th level spell slot, which is elemental. I think they changed something. Ha! The air elemental does deal lightning damage now. So
Okay.
first of all, the dragon is going to breathe radiant energy near the thing again. So that's
Okay.
a dexterity save from it.
I clicked it, I swear.
He's a liar.
I lied.
No.
It has advantage, thankfully. Magic resistance.
Okay, so it only
That
takes
is-
5 radiant damage.
5, yeah.
Now, target it with the target thing. Dragon's Claw.
It is the arrow.
Not a hit.
16.
16, no hit. Hit.
27. Okay. 11 damage.
Okay.
And 3rd attack.
Starting to look not good.
16 again.
Not a hit.
Damn. Okay, the air elemental. Hit that target thing, but now I go to the air elemental. Damage should still be 1d10. Yes. Okay, so slam attack. Alright.
18
Wait,
hits.
why is it not adding? It's I don't know what's going on, but it's supposed to be plus Iris proficiency. So your spell attack modifier, yeah, so it's plus 9, so it's 25. But
Hits.
you know, still hits.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
18 lightning damage.
Okay. You've struck a vulnerability.
Alright,
Pick me,
so
pick me,
the
pick me.
second attack with that advantage, I will pick the guy who's begging to be picked. Setting only a +2, so I guess maybe the sun situation later on. 25 again,
Yep.
Go ahead and slam.
and welcome to Japan. 14 lightning damage.
Okay, perfect. Anything else on your go?
I'm gonna once again use my regeneration because I have a lot of hit dice.
Perfect.
Doesn't really cost me much to just get the light.
Okay.
But Ida is already going to start getting ready to. Well, she's a little thoughtful about it, but she's gonna get ready to perform like a binding ritual if she decides to do the binding ritual, but she hasn't decided completely yet.
Okay. Fire Dancer.
Alright.
The one to your left is incapacitated. The other one is not looking good, but standing.
Okay. Incapacitated doesn't necessarily give it, like, disadvantage on the attacks, right?
No, it just can't attack or take reactions.
Okay, okay. In that case, Fire Dancer will go ahead and attempt to finish off the one on his right.
Okay. Does not hit.
I don't think I get advantage from anything. Sag. Okay.
They just get hit with lightning damage.
Okay.
Different effect.
Ah,
It can't take reactions
Oh
because
my
of
god.
that.
The duty rolls. I will flurry of blows.
Okay. Doody. Hits.
Go. That's more like it. I don't know why it re-rolled that. Damn, or that the D20. That's weird. Anyway, 17.
Okay.
Fire damage. And then another one.
It says radiant, just for your records.
That's because I can pick radiant or fire.
Gotcha, okay.
Does it matter for these guys?
No.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
He only put forward the extra effort for the radiant damage for the devil that was just like, you dare bring fire damage to me.
26 points.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last one.
What happens next? Before you go,
Oh.
what happens next is as you have defeated this creature and struck its core with
Oh.
your previous attack, its ruinous detonation feature is going to
Cool.
take place. And with that, as this arcane scavenger dies and ceases function, rather than simply collapsing and its lights turning off as you would expect, there is a sizzling within it. You can see and feel arcane energy beginning to gather within it as it begins to power off. And it explodes outward. Any creature within 30 feet of it has to make a dex save. So that, I believe, would be everybody. Yes, everybody. I'm gonna make the same one here. Unbelievable. I only need ID's save here. Dex save, please.
Right.
You don't get the plus. Oh,
Hey.
Doesn't need it.
yeah, that's great.
But
Fast
big.
as fuck, boy.
So all of you succeeded except the other arcane scavenger and
Funny.
Did it explode again?
yeah, and the body of Zalgath.
Oh, that's awkward.
Zaskath.
No.
So each of these creatures that fails is going to take the full damage of this. Successes will take half the damage.
But it's an automatic
worry.
fail.
Could the dragon
worry,
have
I-
shielded because it was
Don't worry.
wrapped around?
It's alright, guys. Don't worry.
So 25 points, and in addition to that, this is it immune to force? It is. So this one doesn't take any damage, but due to the explosion, it is flung 40 feet away from its current location.
Wow.
So
That's
I'll just need 2 summons to make the same throw as well.
One summon. 2 summons?
There's 2. Yeah, there's
Yeah, I see
the
the.
Oh
air,
yeah, I
the
didn't roll.
dragon.
Yeah, I didn't roll for them.
Yeah, I should make new things.
Tell me who's on my head, not telling me.
Hydro pumping.
And
pumping
give
game.
them
Yeah,
some
game
order.
nutrition.
I can't
Lit-
look at
yes.
this. It hurts my eyes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll
Shout,
fix it,
shout.
okay? Dex is a +2.
So anyone who succeeded, by the way, half of 25, 12 points force, but you are not flung.
This time, evasion does apply, right?
Yep. That was a dex save.
12 points.
I read my abilities this time.
Oh,
Okay, elemental is a 17, and the
That's
dragon
a success.
is 16.
Both a success.
Nice.
I'll need Woden and Jax to make their con saves.
Good point.
Just click the button that's up there.
We take half damage, right? So that's 12.
12, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And before we continue, as this explosion takes place, and the other arcane scavenger is the only creature pushed away, you see that the body of Zaskath begins to be torn to shreds by the explosion that is happening here. But before we go any further with that, as the battle here against Zaskath and these arcane creatures begins to come to a close, your side victorious and largely unharmed, this scene will come to a brief halt.
Gasp.
As our time rewinds, the scene shifts, and we find ourselves once more in the land of the orcs. As the dust of battle settles here, and the sounds of battle slowly die down around you, the snake charmer's pale and exposed body cut in a disturbing amount of places, you hear that familiar and often unwelcome voice in your head again, Clue. What exactly are you playing at here, kid?
His ears kind of perk up at the voice, and the four-pointed star, the Exalted Starks, glowing a little brighter behind him, illuminating his new silver eye. And he kind of tilts his head in genuine confusion. I told you before, it's a competition. You should understand it better than most. And he smiles, a little bit crazed. For whatever reason, you and me are together. And you're going to try to use me the same way I use you. The tone of voice that Clue uses here shows no sign of indecision. To be clear, I mean to devour any power I can get to get stronger. Every single bit that we chew on, I will do my very best to take from you. And I expect the same of you.
There is a deep growl from the blade at your side, which sends vibrations through your body. Your own pride will lead you to your doom. I can help you if you help me. But oppose me as you have, and I will tear you apart. Superbia, the sin of pride, swears that I will be your downfall.
I'm not just prideful, Bia. And Clue kind of shakes his head, almost in disappointment, maybe exasperation. It's not just that anymore. Being attached to you has shown me the positive nature of pride. I'm more confident in myself now than I ever have been. You show me there isn't really a point in doubting myself if I'm going to try to contend with exalted and branded, our virtues and sins. No, I can't have any room for doubt anymore. When we were with Zeal, I thought of stealing greed away. Because I wanted that power for myself. Because I want so much power that I can achieve every goal I have set out. And kind of looks at the blade, the gem glowing in his hand, and he smiles almost fondly. And when he fought against Ira, I realized, in a way, her wrath is justice for the one she cares about. Her Pandora may be my Callie, or Seika, or... He kind of trails off. And he smiles a little wider now. It's almost like he's a little high off his realization. And perhaps envy is just a way to aspire to be greater. Maybe sloth is understanding when to rest, when to enjoy those moments or when to bide your time. Lust is a form of passion, and gluttony is denying the idea of waste. I don't understand why you're upset. You're a part of why I'm like this now, you know?
As Superbia's voice rings in your head once more, he sounds very different now. You could have been one of us. You understand us in a way few dare to. You leave your prejudice at the door and meet us where we are and as who we are. Perhaps with your aid we could have done good for Shatrix. Perhaps we all deserve a fresh start and a happy ending to our stories. Perhaps simply all we needed was you. And before you continue, in this moment, with Superbia's words hanging in the air between you, and new thoughts forming in your mind, a question that I'm going to leave you with is, what is Clu's gravest sin? And I'll leave you to ponder that question, that doubt, as our proverbial camera shifts ever so slightly, only a few feet to your side, where Malachi too is having an unannounced visitor in his own thoughts. Malachi, I have been thinking, and I have been making decisions. You and I will collaborate, not only to survive, but to prosper once more. The blades will return to their original glory, and our beloved mother will guide our hands once again. Your aid in this effort will be invaluable, as I require you to be the vessel that carries my word to the right people. I will not demand you betray those you hold dear, nor will I demand you kill the devilish-looking one for you to get on the right side of our church. And yet, the road will be treacherous, enemies abound, and even allies will stand in our path. Are you willing to sacrifice all you are to make this dream come true?
I've given you all that makes up my identity once before, unknowingly and unwillingly. What will I gain in return if I give this to you once again?
My ultimate and unwavering support.
Can you elaborate on what it is you require of me?
Be my voice when I do not have one. Be my messenger when I cannot be present. Act in my stead when necessary.
As long as we act of one mind and one voice, I shall carry your will and your power into the world.
Very well. I hear you were discussing travel to Han soon. You will go. Once you are in Shatrix, there will be one you must come in contact with. I will reveal the details to you once the time comes. For now, prepare to enter Shatrix. Prepare to enter the land of our church. And as Lucifer's declaration circles your mind, still, once again, we are going to fast forward through time to the endings of the battle against Zaskath. And as the devil's body begins to slowly be ripped apart and disintegrate, you hear the fluttering of bat wings. Not everyone does, however. Only you do, Jax. And rather than being accompanied by their usual and incessant high-pitched screams, these formless travelers of the night bring a voice to your ears. Sweet, calm, and cunning. Jax Leonov. I have heard of you. I have heard you are looking for me.
Oh shit. Yeah, where you at?
I just want to talk.
Send me your location right now.
Yo, you got
I
Snap
got-
Map on?
It's too late. I have tracked your IP.
I FaceTime my up
Unbelievable.
that I'm up the street.
This is insane. I got through 2 dialogues without breaking once, and here we are. 1 sentence in.
Jax needs like 3 words. Built different.
This is insane. So, where you at, you said?
Yep.
He is simply going to laugh in your mind. Wouldn't that defeat the entire purpose of your search? What is it you even need from me? Why is it you seek me? And why are there rumblings of your ambition to kill me?
Yeah, well, that's for me to know and you to find out when you're within an inch of your life.
If that is all you have to say, I will be waiting for you, Jax.
Wait a second. You said that like knowing where you are would defeat the whole purpose of the search. That would fulfill the purpose of the search. You know, like if you think about it for a second, that would be great.
You don't understand because you are still so young. The
Thank you.
search is the fun part. Finding me
is simply the reward. But don't you worry, Jax. We will be waiting for you. Myself, your grandmother, and your brother. And with that final statement, you hear the bat wings once again, the screeching now taking over as they leave your mind. And that sound is replaced by the imminent blast of this creature before you. And finally, in this very moment as well, Heidi, as you are watching the one you are looking to bind to yourself to avoid most troubles and issues in the future, you hear a voice in your mind that you haven't heard in a while. And this voice sounds distraught, worried, and the message urgent. Your old master. Heidi, are you safe? Danger is beginning to rise in Han. Do not worry about me. Worry about her. Stay away, dear. Please. And that is where we're gonna end it.